Hello YouTube, welcome back to my little video channel. I'm just doing a little video on this gear ratio example, like comparing the 14 to the 15 tooth. This will be my final verdict on it. Basically the bike comes as standard as a 14 tooth. And it's a right little revver, yeah. And I know a lot of owners who own the Suzuki GW250 put the 15 tooth on, which I have, which I really loved. I really did enjoy it. What I have noticed this lately, even it's better cruising, etc. But the problem with it, when you want to overtake a car, you know, at reasonable speeds, let's say you're behind a car at 50 miles an hour and you pull it back on the 15 tooth, it just seems to gradually build up, which is, yeah, not good. Compared to the 14 tooth, the 14 tooth, it's a bit more rev happy. Even saying that, let's say you're doing I think this bike does 68 at 8,000 revs. With the 14 tooth, that is 68. But if you change it to a 15 tooth, it still revs at the same, and it still reads 68 miles an hour. See, the difference is with the 14 tooth, the speedo is out by 5 miles an hour. Sometimes it's only 4 miles an hour on the, depending on how fast you're going, but on average anything from 5 to 6 miles an hour. So basically on a 14 tooth, if you're doing 60 on the clock, you're basically doing 55, if that makes sense. But it does not alter the revs. I mean, this is what I've read, and people saying, oh, it makes the revs lower. It does and it doesn't, because the speedo is still reading the same speed, if that makes sense. With a 15 tooth, it is genuine. So if you are doing 68, you are doing 68. Where, like I said, if you're doing 68 on the 14 tooth, basically just knock 5 miles an hour off. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Let's go for a little ride. If you watch my previous videos, I put the 14 tooth back on, didn't I? If you haven't watched that, please have a look at it. You might find it interesting. Anyway, well, yesterday I had to go to a certain place, and it had a lot of long stretch, boring roads as we call them on bikes, you know what I mean. So, don't get me wrong, to do it, no problem. It's fine. But obviously it just feels a bit more, I won't say vibraty, but you get more tingles. Or, I mean, this bike is smooth, don't get me wrong, but you do feel a bit more tingles through your body, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I enjoyed the ride, but I thought, bloody hell, I need a bigger bike here. Anyway, but if you're just riding around town and going around the country back lanes, it's fine on the 14 tooth. It's only, this bike really doesn't like long straight roads. Like I said, don't get me wrong, it will do it. Anyway, after that little episode, had a bit of fun. Thinking about uploading that video, and I was a bit naughty. Anyway, let's go for the goods and the bad sides of both of these front sprockets, so if it helps owners of this bike. Let's start with the 15 tooth. The good points, it cruises better. It's a bit more flexibility and a bit more smoother, which is good. And like I say, you can cruise up to 65, not a problem really. 70, it's okay. But I have noticed you do need a hell of a lot more throttle on the 15 tooth than compared to the 14th. And the negatives is because you're using more throttle, you're using more petrol or gas, as my American friends say, which is a bit strange. I think it'd be the way around. So anyway, last night, well, late evening, I decided to put the 15.2 spocket back on, and I'm riding with it now on. And the biggest thing I've noticed, obviously, like I said, the cruising speed better. But the downside is miles per gallon, and believe it or not, the gearbox absolutely boring, clunky. And before anybody says anything, the clutch is fine, everything's fine, the chain, I'm very fussy when it comes to my bikes. Sorry, I'm just backing up because the wind noise off the car makes the microphone a bit crap. And very clunky. That's the first thing I didn't notice. Put it in first, it clunked, change gears, it clunked, up and down. Very hard to explain. I will pull over, no behind me. It's just, I don't think you can hear it. I'm just going down, no revs. Let me just pull up, no cars down there. I'm in first. Don't know if you'll be able to pick it up. Oh, can you hear that? I mean, it's not terrible. But it does get better the faster you go, I'll give it that. And oh, it's bloody horrible. It's making me wonder, is it causing any problems? Is it causing damages? Hopefully not, because I just don't like it. Right, so that's a negative on the 15.2. Right now, let's see if I get just take it to 60. Bear in mind, this is genuine speed. If I pull my throttle open a bit, but that's wide open. That's to the max. You can't slow it, build it up. Don't get it wrong, it will build up. But that's full throttle. That is. Yeah, granted, it's a bit of an enemy. Slow down a bit. That'll be okay. That's another negative on the 15.2. Like I say, if you're just cruising at 60, it's fine. But you do have to use quite a bit of throttle. I think mainly because this bike's not a powerful bike. It's only got 26 horsepower, 24 on some websites, and it's quite a heavy bike. Yeah, that's a negative on the 15.2. Like I say, if you're on these kind of roads, you need extra power and a bit of speed. And I'm just trying to keep to a low speed so you can hear me. And that's the 15.2. Good and bads. Right, let's get to the 14 front sprocket. Going back on what I just said, the gearbox is smooth as hell. It's smooth, as really a lot smoother. There's no notchiness, no clunking going up and down. So that's a plus. I mean, to me, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just weird. But on the 14.2 we don't have a problem. Don't know if it's because of the size of the sprocket, but it's not a hell of a lot of difference. It's only, well, I don't know, say about 3mm wider, or depth. Yeah, so a plus is gearbox is smooth. Another plus for the 14.2 is the miles per gallon. Well, let me go back a minute. On the 15.2 I'm probably only getting 65 per gallon because you're using the throttle. Right, on the 14.2 totally different because you're only using the throttle. You mean you're just literally touching it and you're still doing 65, okay, let's say 60 even though you're doing 65 on the speedo, and I'm getting 90 miles per gallon out of it. and I don't ride this bike slow. Obviously I ride it a hell of a lot quicker off camera than I do on camera, that's all I'm going to say. And yeah, so it's a good thing for the 15 tooth. All signing promising for the 15 tooth standard front sprocket, isn't it? Another good thing, the acceleration or overtaking, or like I've just done there, open the throttle right by it. Don't get me wrong, it would do it on the 15, but it takes time to build up. It's, yeah, because the bike ain't got enough power to do it. Anyway, so basically the 14 tooth better. Yesterday when I went for a long ride, because I had to go somewhere on these boring long roads, I was overtaking everything, and it was, yeah. So on that respect, that's the good side of the 14 tooth. Alright, let's get to the negative of the 14 tooth, and it's only really one. I'm not, and you probably guessed it, ain't you? Yeah, the shortness of the gears. It's like now, what I mean, 4 gear doing what, 50 mile an hour, crazy. Anyway, let's go down here. You might be able to hear me again. Oh, that gearbox, that's bloody horrible. This front tooth, 15 sprocket. Yeah, the negative for the 14th. The engine feels like it's revving its, let's say, testicles off. That's the downside of it. But obviously, there's a compromise in everything, isn't there? Do we need power in reserve to overtake cars and to get out of trouble where the 15 tooth would struggle? And I think that's a plus, isn't it? It's a must really, you need to get out of trouble. So, like I say, I got me, left the indicator on, naughty boy. So I got to the point where I'm going to put the 14 tooth back on and just try, and in my head, forget about the 5 mile an hour acceleration on the speedo, if that makes sense. In the day, 5 mile an hour, not a lot, is it? I mean, what's 5 mile an hour? Not a lot, is it? Let me have a look. 5 mile an hour, it's hardly, I think you're hardly moving, are you? To there's 5 mile an hour. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. I know I keep going on about these bloody front sprockets, don't I? But it's just trying to explain the situation. At the end of the day, maybe. At the end of the day, it's what you want. At the end of the day, for me, I just got to get out of in my head what's 5 mile an hour. No big deal, really, is there? Eh? No really big deal. Anyway, let me turn around before these cars come. Anyway, I hope this video makes sense. I know it's a bit long in the tooth. And that's my little verdict on the front sprockets, and that's going to be my final comment on it, because it seems to be taking over my videos. So in summary, I'm going to put the front 14th front sprocket back on, and like I said, try and forget about the 5 mile an hour difference. Hope this makes sense. Don't get me wrong, I still like the bike, I still enjoy riding it, that's the main thing, isn't it? Anyway, as I always say, keep smiling, bye for now.